Good morning. This is Daily Spark, day 68. The question is, what becomes visible when I stop locating experience in a self? What becomes visible when I stop locating experience in a self? I feel like this question is now calling me out on blind spots. That's the reason we have blind spots, maybe. I don't know why I said that, but it's like when I locate an experience in a self, it means to identify with the experience or as the experience. And so if I'm identifying with something, like it's all about that identification thing, then I can't see anything apart from that self that identifies in that way or with that experience. So what becomes visible when I stop doing that? Well, my blind spots become visible. The things I wasn't attuned to when I held so closely to this idea that this experience is about me, that like everything, like I'm identifying as and with. And even that word, I feel like I kind of want to dig into that identification piece. I don't know if I have time though. I have a client coming, but this, what does it mean to identify with something when I'm trying to locate an experience in a self? It feels like, oh, this is the person who is having this experience. And it's like a clinging to, an attachment to. It's like locking down the experience instead of just saying, like, it was a thing that happened and I moved through it. I didn't stay in it. Everything's constantly in flux. So it's like the mind has this memory or images that stick with us that we can, it's like we go back to that moment and say, oh, I experienced this thing, as if it's like locked in a picture frame. Like you can draw it and hold it and see it as if it was a structured, solid thing. But experience is a conglomeration or a collection of different things that are all in flow. So you're like having a conversation with somebody, the words are moving, the body language is moving, like your emotions are moving. Maybe something kind of chaotic, dramatic, traumatic happens, and it's like a series of little movements in body, in emotion, in words, in thoughts, feelings. Like there's so much just constantly in movement. How could we possibly draw a picture of that? And it's funny because I love film and watching movies, and it's like, well, you see like the characters having experiences and it's happening to them, and that's what creates the drama. Like if they were just like, oh, that happened, it wouldn't be like gripping. And that's just it. We grip to like the thing as if like the person experienced it. But really, is experience even a thing if there's no self to experience it? Like there's just happenings, there's just movement. That's all I think of. Like it's just movement of energy, of words, of sensations, of feelings, of thoughts, of people's bodies, of like it's just all movement. There's nothing like this thing called an experience. And yeah, I love that word and I use it all the time. Like I experience this. Like it's almost like we could say all of these happenings moved through me and I moved through them, but experience is just a quick way to sum it up. So what becomes visible when I stop trying to lock down or paint a picture of a collection, a conglomeration of happenings that this person that moved through? And it's like Because when I say like that picture frame kind of feels true, like there's a frame within which I have this idea or memories, like literal, like visual memories of something that happened. And it's hard to expand that view outside the frame and say, what else was happening? What else was moving around me at the same time? Because the experience of a thing is just like locked in to the self who experienced it, who moved through it. But then, like, it's, if I stop locating that within a self, it's almost like the frame breaks apart, everything is able to move again, and it just dissipates as if it never existed. I'm thinking of like memories I've locked in. If I were just to loosen the grip and say, yeah, that happened, or I've healed from it, meaning I don't identify as the one who had the experience of that, because there's not really a true self here, right? I'm just a conglomeration of movements. There's not like an identity, a solid, persistent identity through time. I am not even the same collection of cells as that person in childhood who had, where the memory is, it seems to be locked in place. So I'm still not answering the question, because I think the question is, all of my blind spots become visible when we stop doing that, and I can see things in a more objective way. Like it's almost like a zoom out and be like, wow, there's so much more movement happening. And then all my blind spots, me, and I think you know what I mean by blind spots, right? It's like those things that can come into our awareness of like, oh, and it, all of this could have actually also looked like this and that and this and that, but because of my perception, everything getting locked into a personhood, a self, it's like it limits what can happen. It limits my perception. So it's like, oh, now I can see that other people had feelings, and like things could have went a different way. I had more choice, I have more agency. So the blind spots are like, not like, it's what happens when I feel like I'm locked into a self who's going through experiences that's limiting my perception. And it's like so much, there's so many more possibilities out there. And the blind spots are also like, hey, all these dysfunctional things are happening because you're so locked in, and it makes you feel bad, it makes other people feel bad. You know, it's like those types of things. It's like, oh, there's a lot of less than ideal stuff happening here. And the self that's more objective, or the lack of self, would be like, oh, I can hold more. So nothing's blind. I have more choice and agency, and I'm not perpetuating like harm in the world. So anyway, that's where my head went. Man, that's exhausting. I gotta go prep for a client. Bye.